Western Balkans should not stay isolated. In the global era we live, where there are big actors playing in the field, the Western Balkans somehow should attach to one of these global players, because we do not have as a region as much as capacity to be influential on a greater global scale. And when we talk about the European perspective of the Western Balkan, it was announced clearly in the Fiera European Council and then in Thessaloniki European Council that the European perspective of Western Balkan is that the Western Balkan is part of the EU, or the future of the Western Balkan is in the European Union. But lately, we've seen that the accession talks, for example, in Albania and also in Northern Macedonia are not being opened. And sometimes it looks like the Commission is starting the engine to move forward with the negotiation, and then one of the member states is pulling the brake, and the old mechanism or this vehicle, if I would call the European Union as a vehicle, is like something that starts and then immediately stops. And this creates not a good image in the Western Balkan region about what's the perspective of, in terms of EU accession. Are we going to be part of the European Union in the future? And if there is a European perspective, it is already, let's say, 19 years since the Thessaloniki European Council announced the perspective, and it's happening really. And staying in a limbo is risky, not only for the region itself, but I think for every region. If you stay in this insecurity of where you belong or what family of values you want to belong or you want to adhere to. And if you leave this space void, of course, that different influences might try to reach it. And especially with the COVID crisis, we've seen different diplomacies, like the COVID-19 diplomacy has shown that different influences can come in the region. And I think that the EU in this regard should take a strong stance, not only claiming the perspective of the region, not only having this narrative of future becoming member states, but showing it with concrete steps that we are part of the family. And once we resolve some issue we have inside, we would join this family, because it is better to have sometimes a very clear perspective shown with actions rather than a very fluid perspective which is not accompanied with actions. And in this regard, the EU position would be really credible, not just by name, but with true actions.